Okay, we're back. This should be one of the last episodes.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. I guess I'll just keep going. Look at my map here. Alright, got the reluctant ending, got the confusion ending, got the work and the choice ending, got the death ending, space ending, games ending, insane ending, escape pod ending, museum ending, life ending. So I've just got the bomb ending and the games ending.
Two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
I honestly don't think I'm going to get the games ending because, or the art ending. I've got the games ending. I don't.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
What if I don't want to?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay, so yeah, I think I've gotten pretty much all of the endings. Yeah, ending. There's a couple minor endings that I haven't. Though, I've got 2 mini endings. No, I've got 6 mini endings.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his.
Except they aren't actual endings. The game won't end when I do them.
It had never occurred to him.
They're like Easter eggs.
Would not go unanswered for long.
So I've got some Easter eggs to get, and then I've got these 2 endings.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's supposed to be an ending here, or a mini Easter egg here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Let's see here. Let me look at my chart. So I've got 3 possible endings right near the beginning. No, I've got 5 of the possible endings right near the beginning. Besides the texture change face punch Easter egg, there's 5 more Easter eggs. I got the broom closet Easter egg, haven't gotten the disco Easter egg. Let's try to get that one. Let's see. Here's the storyline. You know what, we'll be back when I'm done with this. We'll be back with this. Okay, we're back.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
So I
Controls
know...
labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
Let me think.
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I completed the game by clicking off. But this is mind control. I suppose I should click yes, just to see what it does.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Maybe?
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Maybe?
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Why would anyone add those?
Let's say 2 minutes.
Oh God.
Ah, now this is a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
Let's try
What precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Okay, let's try 142.
I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Maybe.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won?
No.
Sold? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
Maybe if I
humble. This is not a challenge.
Press 3.
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say,
No! I died. Okay. I'm not sure if that's my last playthrough or not.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'll sometimes get up here. There's supposed to be some mini cutscene ending things. I to add all these inputs again. Just a second. Okay, so I figured out how to get another ending. I will be back when I can get to it. I thought I'd start so that way you guys could see this. I don't know if I've done this or not, but the phone's ringing, which isn't what it usually does.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
At first,
What
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
Wait, what?
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Hang on. I think I need to do this twice. Once with the yes ending, once with the no ending. So we'll go with yes this time.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can make
Usually miserable means an annoying song.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
I can outlast
Which
this.
is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Is there more? Or is this the ending? I can deal with it either way. But I'd like the viewers to see whatever's going on. So So, I don't know, is that the end? I think that's the end. I think it's on a loop now. I'm gonna have to begin the game again. I think I can do that again and press no.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Why can't I get up here anymore? Oh, there we go. What the? Oh.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
So
now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
Probably not.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer?
Probably.
Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one.
What?
So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one?
Probably this one.
If you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky.
What?
Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Really? Is that it? I think I have to restart. But I think that's it for this episode.